To everybody laughing at us, can't disagree. Deserve it, don't we? Absolute laughing stock. Well, it's another season of failure, isn't it? Well done to Lincoln. Everyone knows my thoughts at the start of the season. Throughout the season, even a few Lincoln fans said they've overperformed with the budget they've had. And it would be great for them if they get the championship. What a story that is for them. But ultimately, as they were facing Sunderland over two legs, I obviously didn't want them to get to Wembley. Although I did get the score right. I did predict we'd win the game, but I did predict we'd lose the tie. And ultimately, we gave ourselves too much to do in that first leg. And the performance in the first leg was heartless and gutless, and that's what's cost us. And again, another game where we've conceded. Yes, obviously, I know you don't keep clean sheets every single game, but for goodness sake, it doesn't mean you can't expect it. What can you do? The first half couldn't fault Sunderland. First half, we had the chances to be 3-4-0 up, didn't take them. And start the second half, Lincoln did exactly what they needed to do. Got themselves back in front, and they did a professional job of holding on to it. Even though you could argue that Aidan O'Brien at least should have at least forced extra time, but ifs, woulds, coulda, shoulda, maybes. Fact of the matter is, Lincoln deserved it over the two legs. And for Lincoln, fairy tale could potentially goes on. Be interesting to see what happens in the final. If I had to pick who I'd want to go up, I'd probably pick Blackpool only because of Elliot Embleton, because then he'll have experience of promotion on his CV, which should help us out next season, hopefully. But the fact of the matter is, there's no way I can view this season as anything other than yet another failure, in that we haven't achieved our objective. Our objective was to get promoted out of League One, and we still haven't done it. After 3 years, and by the time next season finishes, 4 years, we still haven't got out of the third tier of English football. And people can think that's arrogant all they want. Let's be honest, that's a load of garbage. It's not arrogant. It's perfectly fair. We expect, while we're down here, to get promoted out of League One. And I'll rephrase that. We expect to sign the players that will, again, not might, not could, not potentially, will get us out of League One. The only thing I can look back at this with a remote vein of positivity, I guess, and there's not really any, and that's even stretching it, because I can't really say this is a positive. I think this is a disgraceful result for Sunderland, to be honest. But that's not Lincoln's problem, by the way. I'm just saying it as a Sunderland fan. But now it means that now, not next week, not in a couple of weeks, no. Now I want that vigorous planning for next season to begin. I want us to look at who we want to keep. I want us to look at who deserves a new contract at this club, and I want us to think, right, the piss-taking party stops now? Well, still waiting. It's been happening for about 5 seasons now. And as much as I'm trying to be gracious in defeat, I guess, I'm sick to death of congratulating other teams. I want us to be the ones being congratulated for a change. I want us to be the ones that have the positive outlook at the end of the season. Looking at Lee Johnson, this is an interesting one to see what happens. I don't think Lee Johnson will go anywhere. If you disagree with me, that's fair enough, but I still expect you to be respectful towards me without resulting to insults. And if you do, not putting up with it. But I think Lee Johnson, I want to see what he does in the summer. I want to see what the regime does in the summer with the players they could bring in. And it depends on the type. And obviously, look, Lee Johnson is rightly, in my opinion, going to be under pressure to start next season. He's going to be under pressure to get us up next season. That there's no other, the aim next season again is top 2, and not just try to achieve it. No, actually achieve it, or get promoted one way or the other. And that objective is simply not going to change until we eventually get promoted out of this division. So I don't know. It just gets really boring after a while when you're constantly underperforming every single season. It's like, well, I'm never going to give up on Sunderland, don't get me wrong, but there comes a point where, guys, I need something back. I need to be able to have something to enjoy. And yes, you can say we won the EFL trophy at Wembley, but I would stop your hand off. I would swap that in a heartbeat for getting promoted easily. Guess we'll get to defend that next season. Yay. For me, I'm not bothered about that. I've said it earlier this season. I only started caring about the competition probably once we got the final, if I'm being brutally honest, or even probably the moment that Tranmere booked their place at Wembley. For us, next season, I'm not bothered about the competitions. Get yourselves focused fully on the league. Vigorous planning's got to start now. Yet another season of failure, but the plan for next season's got to start. And I think we need to be ruthless in we need to be ruthless and have the standards be kept really, really high and say, no, ultimately another reason why we haven't got promoted this season Obviously, people say we haven't been good enough too, fair enough. But for me, it's the games where we should have been good enough to win. When you look at like losing twice to Wigan, not beating MK Dons, losing away at Shrewsbury, losing home to Plymouth, not beating Northampton over 2 games, drawing away at Rochdale. Bristol Rovers, first game of the season, right, even if you take that out of it. Wimbledon, circumstances around that game were unique, but in general, it's not beating the sides we should be. And it's as simple as that, in my opinion. But at least at least I'm not going to have to be stressed all the time about Sunderland, but you need to give us something to shout about next season, because otherwise you're going to risk losing a generation of Sunderland fans if you're not careful, so book your ideas up, lads. This new regime with what they could do at the club gives me a little bit more hope, but we'll wait and see what happens in the coming months, I suppose. Take care, guys. Let me know what videos you might want me to do over the summer, and we'll see what's happening on SCFC Fan TV. I think we're back tomorrow for a Sunday brunch. Whether I'm on it, I don't know, but one way or another, see you in the future.